What do you think of when we say Bitcoin? Well, when you hear the words, you may think of Elon Musk telling people to buy Teslas with it. Maybe you think of that strange gold coin logo with a B.
Maybe you haven't heard much about it at all. Whatever you think about it, it is a growing industry.
One of the hottest spots on the market is right here in Central Georgia. Not everyone's buying in, but as Anthony Montalto shows us, Bitcoin has one city on the move.
That's right, Sandersville is experiencing a Bitcoin boom, but before we get into all that, what is Bitcoin? Well, it's a type of digital currency, also known as cryptocurrency. Think of it like online cash, except it doesn't rely on a bank. Instead, it relies on computers. Now, Bitcoin is the original form of cryptocurrency, and right now it's also the most valuable. In April 2021, just one Bitcoin cost over $60,000, but those prices do tend to change a lot, and creating more coins or mining them takes a ton of energy. When you say mine in Sandersville, odds are you think of kaolin. But there's a new type of mining in the Kaolin Capital.
Literally quadrillions of calculations every minute.
One that doesn't involve mining at all. Enter Bitcoin.
You've got to get the right partner.
Judy McCorkle, Sandersville City Administrator, is sure that right partner is Bitcoin. More specifically, CleanSpark, who runs this 16-acre Sandersville mine.
We're in College Park, Norcross, Sandersville, and Washington.
The Sandersville site is one of their newest, but Sandersville is not new to Bitcoin. In 2021, Macon Infrastructure went online with an acre of shipping containers filled with computers. They call them pods.
They set up operations and everything's been going good, and they were expanding so fast. I don't have a 4-lane. We had some city property that we had to let them use for a few months.
Macon eventually expanded to 41 pods. Then they sold to CleanSpark. Just 12 of those pods can power the entire town of Sandersville. And electrical power is actually why they say this is such a great partnership, because Sandersville has its own power company and its own electrical grid. Can you guess their biggest customer?
Our city operates off about 25 megawatts a day. They were up to about 80 megawatts a day.
They are CleanSpark, the biggest client for the city-run utility.
The largest, the very largest.
At full capacity. McCorkle says the city's made over $2 million in power bills alone since the site opened.
The more power we can sell, the more we, better off we are, and it helps us, develop more projects and all that.
Sandersville is using that windfall to fix up some of their main roads. The money also helped them create new jobs in city government, and it saves folks money too.
A big power user like that, it helps you keep the rates low for everybody else.
It's also a winning deal for CleanSpark.
We as an electric city can design our own rates, so we can sit down and work with them and see what rate is going to make it beneficial for them.
In exchange, CleanSpark says it's willing to help wherever needed.
When the energy markets are constrained or when there's additional demand, we can immediately curtail our use to reallocate those energy resources to places that are more needed.
That means if there's concern of a blackout, they can shut down pods to send power to the grid and keep the city's lights on. They're even hoping to expand the facility.
And they'll be at about 230 megawatts.
10 times what it takes to power all of Sandersville. To the city administration,
take your time and make sure you've got the right partner.
This partnership is a win-win-win. They hope to keep it going, put Sandersville on the map in a new type of mining. One more interesting Bitcoin fact, there can only be about 21 million of them ever created. And right now there are about 19 million out there. Experts think they'll create the last one a little more than 100 years from now. Once that happens, those computers will focus solely on processing transactions. Back to you.
Fascinating stuff. Thank you, Anthony. Like we said earlier, not everyone thinks Bitcoin is the answer.
In April, Forsyth leaders voted against a Bitcoin mine from another company called Watham. Now, that mine would have opened just across the street from someone's front door in the middle of a neighborhood. Neighbors came to a city council meeting to protest.
Some even posted signs in their yards saying, quote, "We want to hear the birds, not Bitcoin." Matthew Schultz with CleanSpark says his company would never do something like that. He says they work with each community they have a mine in to find the best location.
For more on the Bitcoin boom, look for this story on 13WMAZ.com.
You'll also find a map there where you can track Bitcoin hotspots nationwide and even get a video tour of the Sandersville mine.